Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Wildwood from CZT Margaret Bremner. Okay, this is a neat one. Caught my eye and not necessarily as difficult as it looks. Um, we're gonna start with a dot grid, and one of the things that Margaret points out is that the dot grid. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. I'm just pushing my pen in. But she says that the dot grid is rectangles, not squares. So I'm gonna start here in the middle, like I like to do, and let's see if we'll get three going one way, trying working to separate them as evenly as possible, but sometimes. All right, and let's see. Well, I can at least go one up, one down, maybe two. Oh, all right, we'll do that. So this would be a nice fill in, although these are starting to look like squares and not rectangles. They're sort of rectangle-ish. Try to make them go a little bit. Yeah, they're slightly rectangle-ish. Okay. Okay, so we'll prove whether or not you need to have this be rectangles. Okay. All right, but you want them, and the reason that you want them as rectangles is because once you have that set, then in the center, whoops, another dot. And this, even just this, well, and then when I do that, then I can say, oh, well, let we see how off that one is. um, what I try to focus on is just these four, and like focusing in the center of the four, having the four kind of in the peripheral, um, because it's really easy to get eyeball confused. That's my term. All right. So then, and I honestly, it does not matter which way you start at all. And another note, one of the things that Margaret put, and you'll see her link to her step out. It's on her blog. That's in the description section. It'll say for more inspiration from the creator of the Tangle, and so that will take you there. And one thing she points out is that she found after doing it that it was a little easier to do, a triangle of these S shapes kind of all at once. So I will leave that to you. I'm going to do them in a row, like all one direction at one time, just because. And apparently I'm going to, let's see. All of a sudden I'm like, did I? It doesn't, one of those, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to do them diagonally this way. All right. So it's just kind of like pick one. I was thinking, okay, pick this, but we're going to pick this. So this, different than, say, doing the Tangle Cadent or something where we're going to do take off and land. No, these we're going to start right on that dot and do an S shape to the next dot. One thing I found, and I'm going to try to not, I'm trying to flatten out my S shape. So it's just kind of like a wavy line. And in my version of the step out, also link is in the description. You will see the end result isn't so bad, even though some of my S's were like, "Whoa, I'm gonna make a nice S and have it, have it be real wavy." So I'm gonna behave myself here, and and here's the reason that I try as long as much as I can to do the same stroke in the same direction. But if it gets too eyeball confusing, because there are some where it's like, nope, cannot do, because something gets, something always goes sideways, and it's, try to avoid that, right? But if you can, it's good because Zentangle being developed as a way to teach meditation through art, you get the what I like to call the side effect of the the meditation benefit from the repetition. So to do the same thing over and over again as I'm doing here, that helps. And then what we're going to do is then you can turn the tile, and this, and it, like I said, this it could get eyeball confusing. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to go in rows. So I'm starting here, and then you do have to see where your dots are. I guess that would make it a better idea to have your dots nice and visible. You know what? Actually, maybe it's easier. Let's do this as a row. Take that back. Whichever way works better for you. When I was doing it before, my eyeballs seemed to go on the rows, but now all of a sudden, my eyes are seeing it differently. And here, this one's already started. And you'll notice this is sort of taking on the look of Cadent. It's not quite as cool as Cadent because we're not doing. It's not a bigger orb, and we're not doing the takeoff and land. And my little S shapes are getting out of control again. All right. So now we'll work this way. Actually, I'm thinking if I had taken maybe, see this, I'm using the 01. If I had taken maybe an 05 or something just slightly bigger than this and pressed it in, then because I'm having just a tad bit of difficulty seeing the dots, but I can see them well enough. Okay, whoops. There we go. Okay, now we have one more direction to go. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, nope, it needs to go this way. Right? That, no. All right, this way. So really, the direction that that I was. Okay, so we went. We'll recap real quick. So we went from upper right, to lower left. That was the first angle. Then the second, we did the diagonal going the other way. And now we're taking it straight down. And same idea with the S shape. This going from dot to dot. And it's good to just focus on dot to dot. Don't look at it. It's kind of like don't look at anything else. First one here. There we go. And what I am going to do is like I'm going to pretend that the line ends, here. So say I have this is the end of my border. I could draw a whole another set of dots probably and just continue. But, however you end up doing it, just do the partial of whatever you were supposed to do. Because this is here. I'm just, like I said, I'm just ending it right there. And, whoops. Not necessarily, here we would. Wait, would we? Oh. We would do this. Because we're doing these in these columns. And it would be the same over here. And yeah, because and then this would have this little partial coming out here. And there we go. Because, yeah. Yeah, because looking back here is like, okay, you can see here's the little uh, funky triangles, and then this is really a half of one. So if you need to just, sometimes I do that, if I'm going back to check, did I get all these? Did I get all the little partials? And it's just like, okay, step back one. Okay, here's half of that. Okay, I see the shapes on that row. There we go. Good. And that's it. Now, in Margaret's, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shade the whole exterior. So we're going to pretend that, like, I had a string line here and here, and we filled it in. So that's what you could do. You could also decorate. So taking a look, and let's go to the outside. Taking a look at Margaret's sample and her step out, you'll see in the sample that because there's no way I could do this on mine. You do it big enough, and then you can decorate inside of them. So some she has aura the shape and things like that. So all kinds of fun that you can have with that. I like the texture that it creates just as it is. That's what caught my eye as I was sorting through things. But there we go. Just neat. Now, you know what? Let me take this back. Hold on a moment. Because they're meta shapes that are just starting to pop here. For instance, let's do this one right in the center. And so on these intersections, you can do like that. And so you can see this flowery-ish shape. Yeah, it's a somewhat hexagon. Okay, I take it back. I could have done that. Oh, I still like the outside border. So kind of like, I go from, no, I'm not going to shade it. Oh, yeah, look at all of a sudden. So then I'm just bringing the graphite out just a tad. So this creates kind of a tufted look. We'll do this like with the Tangle bales and stuff like that. And it's completely up to you. Whatever moves you to do. It's your Tangle. It's your artwork. Ooh, look at, look at it just halfway done. That's fun to do a lot of times. So that way you have that before and after. Like I said, I like the texture of it, and this it makes it a little bit different texture. I like it. All right. And if you liked it, would love to have you click the like button. Speaking of like, and if you liked it enough to see more, go ahead and while you're clicking, click on this subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I've already mentioned the description section a little bit, at least for the step outs. See, that it just adds so much depth. Just wow. Wow. So in the description section, besides the links to the step outs, ways to connect with me if you wish. Let me highlight first, if you happen to be on Facebook and want to hang out with a bunch of amazing Tangle addicts, we're a crazy group, but crazy, fun, and absolutely amazing. Wonderful art, wonderful support, and I think support for each other's tangling efforts is really number one. So there's a link to the private group there. Know that there are 3 questions to answer to gain entry. Then also a link to my Facebook page. So if you want to follow me there, you'll see when I post classes and other things, recaps, things like that. You can also subscribe to my blog by going to my website, which that link is there as well. And you can also see the list of classes that I have done, things that are coming up. And let's see what else. And I have categories of tangles there. It's unfortunately not as complete as on this YouTube channel. So if you click on my picture or my name, that'll take you to I guess the home page, we'll call it, of the channel, and then you can see the playlist. So if you're looking for something in particular, you should find it there, listed, or you can do a search. So if there's a tangle you want to see if I've done, you can do a search there and find it. All right. So with that, again, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.